Hey guys, I just want to let you know there's a shorter version of this video available, and I will put it in the box. This is the unedited version, so it's like 2 hours long. If you're like, bitch, I ain't got time for that, there's a shorter version available, and I will put the link in the box, and it's probably just sitting right here on YouTube as well. All right, my loves, enjoy!
Hey you guys. Doing a little guerrilla shooting here on my iPhone instead of my camera in my living room, relaxing on my couch. So I'm going to document this because I think it's really interesting. So I'm going to start from the beginning, but I just had Reiki. I've never had it before. So, you know, I just don't automatically believe in stuff, right? You know this by now. If you know me, you know that I'm like woo-woo enough to where I experience something, I'll be like, oh, there's something here. But if I don't, then I'm pretty skeptical about it. So I kind of thought Reiki was bullshit. I still think you can probably get people that don't know what they're doing or think they know what they're doing, but they don't, or whatever. But I just had it, and it's pretty legit. It's pretty legit. So at least the person I had it with. But here's the deal. If you don't know, I'm gonna tell you my little story here. And for those of you that already know, I'm sorry. Sorry. So here's the personal tea. Back in September, I got a UTI. Whee! And I used to get them all the time, and then I didn't get one for years upon years, and then just randomly in September, I happened to get one. And I think it's because I was starting a new birth control pill, and I think it just kind of did me weird. But anyway, so I get this UTI, but it was like the most mild UTI I've ever had in my life, like literally. But I know immediately when I have one because I've had so many. So I had some Cipro. I have it on hand. I keep it on hand because I used to get so many UTIs. So I have the Cipro, but when I dislocated my knee in June or July, somebody said, oh, I think it was the Cipro that did it. And the doctor was like, oh, yeah, maybe you shouldn't take it. So I didn't take it. Usually if I get the slightest hint of a UTI, I'm on the Cipro. So I didn't take the Cipro, and I called the doctor, and I said, I need to get, some antibiotics. Oh, okay, so they put me on amoxicillin. I've never had a problem with amoxicillin in my life. I have a reaction to the amoxicillin. So they put me on macrobid. Never taken it before. Well, that made my throat swell. So then I went back to urgent care, and I said, okay, things are not working out very well here. What are we going to do? They said, well, you know what? We decided something. We don't want to just keep giving you antibiotics. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a pee test, like the 50th one I've taken, right? We're going to give you a pee test. We're going to see exactly what the bacteria is. We're going to treat it that way. Okay. Well, I wasn't thinking, obviously the doctor wasn't thinking, because I had one full day of amoxicillin and one full day of macrobid prior to me taking this test. So of course the test comes up after a week and a half, after 9 days of me having a UTI. Now I've had a UTI for almost 2 weeks. The test comes back and there's no bacteria. So they're like, oh, you don't have a UTI. There's something else wrong with you. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that the antibiotics gave you a false negative. So they said, no, they're arguing with me. No, there's something else wrong. We want to set this up. Could be this, could be that. Tumors, it's not a tumor, like all sorts of dumb shit. So I basically waited a week until the UTI was so bad that I was crying. I was in so much pain. And I go back, I get a test, an at-home UTI test. Okay, I've got it. The test is positive. I go back to the doctor and I'm like, test me now. So they tested me then. And at this point, I've had a UTI for almost 3 weeks, right? They test me then and they're like, oh boy, you've got a really bad UTI. No kidding. So all told, I basically had an untreated UTI for a month. For those of you who don't know, I'm a kidney donor. So that's a bad thing for anybody, but it's really a bad thing for somebody with one kidney. So after all of this mess, I've had some weird stuff with the bladder off and on, and my acupuncturist has been treating it, and it's getting better, but it's still like I still can't drink caffeine because it irritates it, and I can't do crunches because it irritates it. So I'm like, okay, I need my caffeine and I need my crunches. I was getting a little bit desperate. I went back to the doctor, and somebody recommended something called Urabel, which I really wanted to try. And the doctor refused to give it to me. Again, they start pushing this, oh, well, we need to run all these tests and da-da-da-da-da and this and that. And I'm like, listen, all I'm telling you is it's like it doesn't feel right there. It's tight. Like it just shit doesn't feel right down there. You know, the muscles are tense. The muscles are tight. I think the nerves are firing when they get the slightest bit of stimulus. And, you know, they're going, no, we need to test you for this and that and this and blah, blah, blah. She's throwing all this stuff out. We want to stick a camera up there and, you know, blah, blah, blah. That. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm leaving. Auntie's out of here. I'm like, let's call this what it is. I had an untreated UTI for a month. I had the worst pain ever, and that area of my body hasn't yet recovered. I mean, let's just have real talk. Like, I don't know why they think they need to run all these exotic tests on me, especially considering I have the worst deductible in the world. For those of you who live in those beautiful countries that have healthcare, all of them, right? But this one, this United States, I love you. You're so lucky. You're so lucky. Yeah, so, you know, I'm not getting all these tests. I think they're unnecessary anyway. If I thought they were necessary, I'd spend the money to do it, but I would go broke in a heartbeat. Like I'd be on YouTube begging people to get readings for me so I could pay for all my unnecessary testing. Anyway, I'm digressing. But I got desperate. So my acupuncturist's been working on it. I've had a few other people kind of work on it. You know, I'm doing special exercises. I'm doing physical therapy. But I thought somebody told me they had a really positive experience with Reiki, and it's somebody I trust. So I was like, maybe I should try it. You know, maybe this can be kind of a little experiment. So I've never done it before. I've done Will the Witch Doctor, and, you know, that's not really Reiki. I've done sound therapy. I've done acupuncture. You know, I've done other things. And I was a little bit skeptical going in. So I wanted to record a video on my way there today, this morning. But Mercury retrograde got me good, too. I was late. I felt really bad. I felt really bad. But hopefully next time, you know, I can get you guys in the car and we can, like, hang out together. And, you know, really I want to kind of bring you with me on this. But this is my aftermath of the first time I've had Reiki. So basically, for those of you who have never had it, I mean, more or less the person is basically channeling energy and like running it into your body. I mean, that's basically what's going on. That's a very simplistic explanation, but I went to the guy's place, and I don't know if he wants me to give out recommendations yet, so I'm not going to give out his name. I have to ask. But I go to his place, and I was all verklempt. I couldn't find parking. I'm in San Francisco. I can't find parking, of course. You know, it took me 30 minutes to go 7 miles. You know, I was doing great. I was like, oh, I'm going to be early. And then all of a sudden I hit traffic, and then I just sat there. It was awful. So I got there feeling like a shitheel. I got there feeling terrible, like 15 minutes late. I hate being late. I'm never late. I hate making people wait for me. Anyway, so I was really kind of all over the place, and he like got me chilled out, sat me the fuck down, and was like, okay, relax. So I get up on the table, and I got a blankie, which is very nice. You know, who doesn't want a blankie? Who doesn't want a blankie? So I got a blankie, I got up on the table, he explained everything he was going to do, and, you know, let me know what parts of my body were being touched, and it's nothing creepy, by the way. I was ready, girl. I had the mace. I had the mace in my handbag. I was like, if he gets creepy, I'm just going to spray the mace and run out. It sucks that, you know, that's just part of being a female in the world. But, you know, he didn't get creepy, so we're safe. We're safe. Got me a glass of water, so I had some water. Get on the table, and he starts working, and it's funny because he kind of did this chakra check, and he was doing the crown chakra, and he goes, do you like meditate a lot, or are you like, do you do yoga a lot, or like, I said, why? And he goes, well, your crown chakra is just, wow. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm an intuitive. He goes, oh, wow, I don't really work on many intuitives. So, what's interesting is Reiki is running energy, right? So he's taking energy and he's kind of basically applying it to my body. And as an intuitive, my training tells me not to let other people's energy in my space. So I'm going into this, you know, basically having to do the opposite of what I do every day. So as an intuitive and as an empath, it took me years to build up to be able to do this, where I can encounter people and I don't automatically feel their stuff, or, you know, I don't start getting a flow of information, or their energy just doesn't come into my space. Like, it took me years to perfect this. It used to be really, really bad. I mean, I used to go around people and I mean, I would just come back drained, or, you know, I'd start to get an ache in my back and I wouldn't know why. And then I'd be like, oh my God, do you have a backache? And they'd be like, yes. And I'm like, oh great, now I do too. So basically all of my training has to go out the window sitting up on this table, because I have to allow the energy into my space, like in, not just into my space, but really, you know, in the body. So it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard. You know, he starts doing the work and he's got the music going and I'm like chilling, and I could feel it though. I could immediately feel, like, so he says, oh, you might feel my hands get warm. No. It felt like an electric fucking shock. Like, it wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't bad at all. It was like super cool. It wasn't a bad feeling. It wasn't a scary feeling. At no time did I feel threatened, frightened, you know, or anything like that. But, I could feel it literally running up and down my body. It was wild. And I don't know if other people feel it that way, but that's how it came through for me. And yeah, his hands got hot, you know, and he's over the blanket and I can still feel the heat. And I'm going, Jesus, this is real. This is real. Skeptical little aunties over here. I was like, oh, this is like real shit. You know, you guys, especially have been watching me for a while. You know how I get. When I'm like, something turns out to be real and I'm like, oh God, even sometimes with my own predictions, you know, and I'll be like, oh Jesus, that came true. Like, it's always like these minor little miracles to me. So when this turns out to be real, at least this guy, I mean, yes, Reiki is real. Again, I'm not 1,000% sure that everybody says that they do it, that they can do it. This guy clearly can do it. So anyway, I start to feel this, like, it wasn't just where his hands were, and he started out on the torso. It wasn't just where his hands were, it was just zipping all over the place. And I was like, holy shit. And honestly, at one point I was like, he gave me a glass of water, maybe he laced the water. I'm like, maybe microdose the water. This is going through my head because I'm having such a reaction. I'm like, okay, but I've done plenty of drugs. I mean, not recently. But I mean, I've partied enough. I've done enough to know, like, I'm kind of going through the catalog in my brain. Does this feel like any known drug to me? Does this feel like anything I've ever taken? No, I don't think so. Do you love that? I've done plenty of drugs. I wouldn't characterize it that. But the point is, I think I'd know enough to know if I was actually on drugs. But I swear to God, in my head, I'm thinking like, oh my God, I'm having such a reaction to it. Like, has he dosed the water? The mace is in the purse. I'm ready to go. Obviously went into this a little suspiciously. But I mean, come on, like, yeah, you know, Scorpio. What can I say? So much Scorpio. So anyway, I can feel the heat, and it's just like electricity just going through my body, but it didn't feel like zappy, you know, but it was fast. It was moving quickly, and it seemed to kind of be going just up and down and all around and having a life of its own. And it's not like acupuncture. With acupuncture, energy moves away from you, heavier. That's how it feels to me. Whereas, like, she works on my bladder in acupuncture, and it literally, the heaviness of the energy starts to clear from left to right until it's just not there anymore. With this, I didn't feel anything clearing. And I didn't really feel anything specific on the bladder per se, but I did start to feel this zippy, and then my third eye starts going like crazy. It's just spinning. I mean, I can feel it. And then when he moved to my feet, it was like the top of my head was on fire. It was wild. I just started laughing. I mean, I was having the best time. I was having the best time. Never at any point did I get freaked out or like, oh, it's too much. There was a couple times though where I felt like I was in such a different state of mind that I was like, he's put something in the water, god damn it. Like I was convinced. I was convinced. I was like, this man is putting things in the water. It's okay, because next time I'm going to bring my own water just to make sure. I'm dead serious. Don't think I'm not. I'm dead serious, because I'm like, I went into such an altered state. I'm like, this man has slipped me some drugs. Like, what is going on here? But anyway, I was feeling great. I was feeling great. You know, it was funny because he kept saying, like, are you relaxed? He checked in with me at every point. He was really, really good. Like, very good at checking in, very good at letting you know exactly what the process was. You know, and at one point he says, do you feel relaxed? And I said, absolutely not. I was like, no. I'm high as a kite. I'm not relaxed for shit. I can feel the energy running through my entire body. I still feel it. You know, I'm an hour out of this and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I fucking feel it. I still feel it. So, I wouldn't call it relaxed. I personally was not relaxed, but neither was I, like, you know, jumping off the table, or again, I wasn't freaked out. I wasn't anxious. You know, I was like, oh my God, like I am in the middle of something here. This is some wild shit. Like it was the highest, some of the highest energy that I've ever had running through me physically. I've had higher, way, like, no, I don't want to say way, but a higher frequency than that for sure. And that shit, that took me like days to come down from. That time, the energy was so high, I honestly couldn't even really talk. Like I wasn't functional. So I definitely functional. I could definitely talk. I could definitely communicate. I could definitely drive myself home. So it goes through the whole thing. It's a 90-minute session, and does a face up, and then you turn face down. And when I turned over, I noticed that that heavy, tight feeling was no longer in my abdominal area anymore. And I was like, oh shit, okay, let's see. So he worked, you know, on the back, and you know, he does all sorts. I mean, there was a lot of movement here, and the hands here, and the hands here, and I'm pretty sure they were up here at some point, back here. There was a whole series of movements on the knees, on the ankles. Yeah, there was a lot. I didn't pay that much attention, and I will tell you this, his hands got hot, and I'm feeling it through like a double layer of blankie. It was a very nice blankie, by the way. So, yeah, I was feeling stuff just sparking out of the top of my head. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, just like I could feel the heat coming out. I don't think it was coming in. I'm pretty sure it was going out. And then about halfway through, I was feeling pretty high, and just kind of, again, I kept thinking, like, what did he put in the water? God damn it, I want to know. So I was definitely feeling like I wasn't present in a way. I mean, I was present, but I was like on another wavelength. And my vibes are usually pretty high, as you know, if you watch me. But this was like, I don't know if I even want to call it like a vertical, you know, high vibe, low vibe. It was almost like it was a horizontal shift. It was almost like, well, you were over here, now you're over here. You know, it was just kind of this movement for me that put me into a different state of mind, different headspace. You know, I don't think I had one serious thought while I was in there. I'm like trying to think, like, you know, but my mind was also not quiet because I was so focused on what I was experiencing. So it was very much like a physical experience for me. It was incredibly physical. Just again, I mean, I can't really, I want to say electricity. It feels like electricity, but it's not zappy. And I relaxed quite a bit. I have to say, there were parts of my body that just went like, whoop, we're relaxing now. Like it was almost like, kind of like getting a massage, but like one of those really chill ones, not the ones where they beat the shit out of you. But it was just like parts of me, especially, you know, where I'm injured over here, you know, parts of me were just like, oh, we're relaxing now. That's all there is to it. Like, it's just happening. It's just kind of an automatic thing that's happening. Now we're relaxing. I mean, there were times where, I would just kind of crack up in the middle of it because I was just so stoned feeling. I mean, and I don't want to say like when I say stoned, like it's not like sluggish, it didn't actually feel like I was on drugs. I want to make that very clear. Like I don't really believe that I was poisoned. Poison water. I know, but I'm saying like it was such an altered state that I had nothing. I'm still pretty, I don't know if you can tell. I had nothing to really compare it to. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, man, I kind of, in some spaces, I don't have words. But after he turned me over, well, right before he turned me over to put me on my stomach, I could feel something heavy starting to shake loose out of me. So it's still here, but I can feel it. I think, it's whatever it is, and hopefully it's whatever's connected to this bladder situation, which does feel much, much better. I will tell you this, like, I'm interested to see if it can be sustained, because it feels a lot better. Like, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think it was gonna shift that quickly, so hopefully it can be sustained. But something shook loose, something's trying to clear. It feels really heavy, probably really, really old. Could be ancestral, could be past life, it may not just be the bladder thing, or it may be that the energy's hanging around that area because of something ancestral or past life or whatever. But something is trying to I know, silly. Something's trying to like get up out. Like I can feel it. So I'm curious to see. I will check back in tomorrow and let you know how I'm feeling. But I can feel it. I can feel the pressure just kind of like moving up. Last time I had a really big energy clearing. It was like this. I had been doing these meditations. Cassidy Kane is a twin flame expert. I guess we can call her an expert. But I found her meditations and they are amazing. So they're not cheap, but they are worth it. And I frequently do her meditations, just even outside of like twin flamey stuff. It's you don't have to be on the twin flame path journey, blah blah blah. You don't have to be there to benefit from these meditations and enjoy them. Like they're really good. Like I kind of bought one on a whim, or she was having a special and I just thought, I'm gonna try this. And it was like clearing the Akashic records or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, these are great. So I bought another one and, I was like, oh my God, these are great. So she does all these clearings and stuff. So the last time I did a clearing that feels like this massive, it was through one of her meditations. I had been doing it like every day for a week. And on the last day, I got really manic. And I'm not typically a manic person. I mean, I didn't feel super manic, but all of a sudden I was like, I need to clean my house. That's kind of one of my signals. Like if I feel like I really need to clean my house, and that means I'm trying to clear something out. So I go, I need to clean my house. So I started kind of manically cleaning the house. I mean, I was like in there, like cleaning the shit out of everything. And I went to bed. I cleaned the whole house. I was very happy with it. Like really deep cleaned it, And I go to bed and I start to feel this pressure as I'm in bed. And it's sort of like on my chest and I can feel it. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And I flipped out. Like this, what's going on right now? Let me tell you this. I am prone to anxiety, and I do get panic attacks. And I will tell you, like, whatever's going on right now, I don't feel anxious and I don't feel panicked, and I don't think I'm going to get that way. But with that particular clearing back in the summer with the Cassidy Kane stuff, and I never feel bad when I'm doing the meditations, by the way. They're amazing. But this clearing, like, it was going to happen, but I got really anxious when I felt the pressure, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know what it was at first. I mean, I didn't even tie what was going on to these meditations. I did later. I went, oh yeah, dumbass, but at the time, I started to get real, just intense pressure. And of course, man, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack, right? I'm having a heart attack. Somebody's poisoned my water. I've been this way my whole life, by the way. So anyway, oh my God, what is this? What is this? And then I kind of realized like it's energetic. So I start kind of guiding the energy out, and the pressure was so insane and the anxiety got so intense But I didn't want to get up. I felt almost nailed to the bed. I felt really heavy. I didn't want to get up, and I was home alone, so, whatever. I just kind of started trying to guide this energy and move it out, and it took me all night, and I would just fall asleep in the middle of trying to clear this stuff. As it's clearing, I would fall asleep, and then I would wake up, and I'd feel it clearing more. At one point, like 3 a.m, I woke up, and the pressure around my head was intense. And I went, oh gosh, okay, well, but none of this feels tight anymore. So it's obviously moving up and out. None of this feels tight. Everything else feels great. But now it's like from here up, I feel like, oh. So I woke up the next morning and all the pressure was gone and I felt great. So this is kind of similar in that I feel something heavy that's coming up. That's I guarantee you it's probably going to come all the way up through here, just like before. I don't feel anxious. I have no anxiety about it. I don't feel like I'm gonna panic. It doesn't feel like, it's not really uncomfortable, but it's kind of like, okay, this thing's trying to clear, like let it do its thing. So yeah, I have to say I am really interested. I have 3 more sessions of Reiki we're just gonna do every week. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated on my little journey here. But so far I'm pretty enamored of the whole experience. I'm gonna bring my own water. I'm gonna bring my own water next time, just to make sure. That's a joke, by the way. I just want to make it very clear because some people take me way too seriously and they're like, "You think the guy killed you? He's poisoning you? What's going on? Did you put ecstasy in the water?" No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. But that's really how effective this treatment was. I felt like, wow. And then it's funny because I hate driving in San Francisco. It's like so stressful. And usually I get really amped up when I have to do it. And when I left his place, I was like, this is fine. Fucking Siri took me a weird way, some way I've never been before. And I was like, this is also fine. Like I was just feeling it. I was like, yeah, everything's great. He did tell me to eat clean. So naturally I went straight to In-N-Out. I needed it. It was medicinal. Listen, I needed the beef. I'm telling you, I needed the vitamins or something. I needed it. But I'm gonna eat super clean after that. That's all I'm gonna. It was just my one naughty thing that I did. But I was like starving, and I really was craving beef. So I noticed that when I go through these weird clearings and shit, like I just let myself eat whatever weird shit I'm craving because it usually means I need something in there. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, I gotta say. So I'm interested to see if the bladder holds up. I am probably going to go take a little nappy now and just sort of relax. But I still feel like I'm in a different place. All right. Okay, I'll be back. Here's day 1. Whee!
Hello. Okay, I'm not wearing makeup, but I'm going to make this black and white. I'm telling you, Liz Taylor scared the hell out of me. Never go on camera without your makeup on. What were you thinking? She was so upset. I don't even remember what Drunk Tarot that was on, but it is on Patreon on one of the Drunk Tarots. We are in my kitchen cooking, but it is day 2 of Reiki Day. So this is the day after my first treatment. We're making some veggies. I'm gonna cook up some veggies and quinoa is what we're doing right now. I thought I'd just, mix it up instead of sitting in front of that damn desk. I've got sticky stuff on my hands. Anyway, I'm gonna make this video black and white so Liz doesn't get pissed and I don't get upset. I don't know why I so took that to heart, but I so took that to heart. Like, never appear on camera without your makeup on. What are you thinking? She was like, they need the glamour. So, day 2 of Reiki. So, get this. So, last night, feeling really good. I had a nice, long, big, fat meditation yesterday. Just, like, totally chilling out. And then I kind of... I don't know, I like dozed. I want to say I like dozed in the middle of the meditation because I would kind of like lose time a little bit here and there. But, I don't know if I was actually asleep. It's one of those. Do we have no olive oil in this house. We have a little bit. So, anyway, I dozed a little bit, or maybe not, I'm not sure, but I was mellowed out. I had some dinner. See, I ate clean for dinner. I had a chicken Caesar salad. So I ate clean for dinner. And then I went to try one of these custom blends that I got from Enchantments, that place I went to in Campbell. You should check it out if you're in the Bay Area near San Jose. It is like, the owner's really sweet, super fun. They do custom blends over there. It's basically like spells and shit. It's pretty cool. I was into it. I was like, I'm gonna spend money in this place. I was into it. So anyway, I had a custom blend and I tried it out as I was mellowing out, and it just did not agree with me. So I had my lymph nodes start to swell up. I was like, oh no. My throat got really irritated. Then of course I'm like, you know, is my throat swelling? You know, it's like difficult to swallow here and there, but maybe not really, because I'm like freaking out. You know, it was one of those. It was one of those where you're like, maybe I'm freaking out and nothing's wrong, but maybe something is wrong. So anyway, that ended up being my night after the Reiki. Is I ended up having to take a couple of Benadryl. So I don't know if that changed, I don't want to say it ruined the experience, but it may have changed the experience a little bit for me, because I was really feeling it. I was really feeling it, dude. So yeah, I'm kind of bummed out that it went down that way, because I really wanted to, you know, see how I slept and da 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 and blah 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 blah. And now I'm just like, well, I got stoned on Benadryl. Last thing Reiki Dave says to me is, that's what we're calling him. I've decided, Reiki Dave. It's like Will the Witch Doctor. Now we have Reiki Dave. But the last thing he said was like, you know, try not to get into an altered state. Like, you know, stay in the Reiki state. And then, of course, my fucking ass. The quinoa's finished. My ass was like, oh, Kirsten, here, have an allergic reaction, have some Benadryl. So I don't know if it counts as an altered state, but it's definitely not, you know, ideal. So, yeah, I ended up having to take a couple of Benadryl. I ended up spending the night with my mom, because I went over there. I was like, is my throat swollen? Just down there with the flashlight. She's like, I don't think so. But anyway, I ended up staying the night over there just because she was like, I don't know, maybe we just in case shit goes funky, like let's stick together. So anyway, it was not ideal because I was not in my own home. I was on Benadryl. I didn't feel good. My lymph nodes were huge in my neck. It was really gnarly, and it just wasn't the happiest place for me to be. Although I will say that, you know, I didn't flip out. So same deal, you know, I hate driving in San Francisco. I think I said this yesterday. And like, I took a not ordinary route home, no way I've ever been before, you know, to get back home. And I didn't flip out. And same thing with this. It's like, I think my throat's swelling. And I just, you know, like part of me has these visions of me like going to an ER where there's fucking coronavirus and stuff, right? Like, I'm like, I can't do it. I gotta stay home. But part of me, you know what? I just kind of calmed down. So I don't know if that's the effects of the Reiki or what, but it was like, you can, you know, I didn't flip out. I really didn't flip out. It was just kind of like, you know what? We're just going to take it as it goes and everything will be fine and no worries. So, yeah, I'm a little bit bummed out because then I got up this morning and of course I have the Benadryl hangover, you know, so I kind of can't really gauge exactly how I'm feeling. I wish that it would have been more pure. Shit happens, you know, maybe the universe just wanted me to go spend the night with my mommy. I don't know. But I will say, as far as the bladder goes, okay, now this is really interesting. So this is why I'm doing this, right? Although I'm finding lots of other benefits. Clears energy like you wouldn't believe. Like, you would not believe. I almost feel like it's cheating. Usually when I have to clear energy, you know, it's like a laborious, shitty little process. And this was, I feel like whatever didn't belong to me is gone. Doing readings, all that crap, you know, reading on Trump, all of that shit just kind of just zipped right out, rather than me having to like clear and salt bath and this and that and blah, 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 and meditate. It was just kind of like, whoop. So that's fun. That's exciting. But with the bladder, I seriously think it's feeling better. I seriously think it's feeling better. I'm not kidding. I worked out today. I did some Tracy Anderson today, which included a lot of crunches. I was able to do the crunches, and it feels like the area, because I think the whole issue is the area is like really, really tight. Like, I'm not sure it's an internal bladder issue. I think it's muscular and probably nervular. My nervular bladder journey, ladies and gentlemen. But it feels less tight. It feels more relaxed for sure. For sure. Like, there were periods where I woke up in the middle of the night, and I woke up because my bladder was relaxed, and it felt different. I woke up because I was like, what is this? What's happening? I don't know. It's usually so tight. Like, I don't want to say my bladder was relaxed, but you know what I mean. Don't burn garlic. All right, so I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me eat celery, but that's day 2. I like it. I wish I wasn't Benadryl hungover, but I really think it's working on the bladder, so fingers crossed. I think Reiki Dave is the real deal, y'all. I don't think he put shit in that water, by the way. I know I kept saying that yesterday, but I really don't think he did. All right.
Okay, we are day 3. As you can see, I'm in a mud mask. I wanted to dip in really quick. So this is the 3rd day after my first session with Reiki Dave. And I'm not kidding. I think this bladder thing is improving. I'm dead serious. It's way less tight. I really think the whole thing was muscular or nerve related. But it's the whole area seems to be relaxing. I sort of can't believe it. And it's intermittently relaxing, so it's not the whole time where it's just like, oh yeah, it's all better. But it's like I have moments, I have hours, literal hours, where the whole abdomen, the whole pelvis is just normal. Normal. We haven't tested it yet. It's only been 3 days, so I haven't done any caffeine or anything crazy like that. No crazy caffeine, please. But I've been doing crunches. Doesn't seem to be a problem. So I'm kind of excited. I also had a couple of pretty massive emotional shifts and revelations this morning. So I don't know if that's Reiki related or PMS. Full moon. Who knows? But I will keep you updated. I got to go wash this off my face. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I really think it's working. Okay, taking my shoes off. I'm in the process of removing my shoes. Welcome to the bedroom, kids. So we just had Reiki session 2, and I just got home. Once again, after getting off that table, I was absolutely starving. So eat clean. Great, I'm going straight to In-N-Out. I'll eat clean the rest of the time, I promise. But yeah, straight to In-N-Out. I was like, I need the beef. Gross, I know. But I needed it. So this is not the best lighting. This is not the best lighting for on tea. We'll live with it, though. Okay, so here's the update. And I have to say this. This is like a little bit of TMI. But I had the Reiki last week. Had some experiences. I did a very high channeling deep dive. So if you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's $5 tier on Patreon. It was wild, dude. And then the very end, like, I wasn't even present. There was like something talking through me. I don't typically get that kind of energy when I'm doing deep dives. Usually it's a little bit more dense. This was wild, man. So I noticed it's sort of filter. I'm sorry, like my eyes aren't focusing. Like I'm looking at everything like I've never seen it before. But I noticed that the Reiki, the energy is sort of filtering into the work that I'm doing. So I really like that. Anyway, last week I got my period. This is my TMI. And it was like, holy God, I don't I've never had a period like this in my life. We could have reenacted the elevator scene from The Shining using only my menstrual blood, like legitimately. Like, yeah, of course, you know, if I'm gonna TMI you, I'm gonna go all the way, please. Yeah, it was like wild, dude. It was wild, and I had immense relief in the entire bladder, pelvic, you know, area right up until I got my period. And then it was like, oh my God, the whole thing was like as tight as a drum, like across my entire torso was just tight as a drum. And then this period was wild. And then I broke out. And I mean, I broke out everywhere. I didn't really break out on my face, but I broke out all over my neck, which is gross, which is not, I mean like, not just like a couple of zits, but like clusters. Like if you put your hands down here, it's just bumpy. It's fucking disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting, and that never happens to me. So I definitely think it's a product of the Reiki. I'm pretty sure. You know, I did not get my tripod out. I was so anxious to talk to you guys. I didn't get my tripod out. But anyway, I'm going to go get the tripod. Let me get the tripod. I'll be right back. Okay, now we got the tripod. The lighting still isn't great, but we're going to live with it. We're going with it. Welcome to my bedroom again. It's very nice. I love my bedroom. I'm a little bit weird from this Reiki. So I went through, you know, the procedure last week. You get on the table. I brought my own water this time just to make sure that, you know, I wasn't getting microdosed. I didn't really think I was, but I was like, we're going to do this. We need to be, you know, we need to be investigative reporter on tea. I'm a fucking idiot, in case you hadn't noticed. You know, and maybe it's in the water. Maybe this Reiki stuff isn't real. So I brought my own water this time. And it's real. The investigative reporter has thoroughly done her job, and the water is not microdosed, and Reiki is real. I'm legitimately stoned. So, okay, so I'm Reiki stoned. Is that a phrase? Can we use that? I hope that's not seen as disrespectful. Anyway, so I go in the second time. You guys, I am like all in one right now. But anyway, okay, so I have the period of like, you know, the Shining period. And then, I go for Reiki this morning. And I will say this, because, you know, I am like, prone to anxiety. I have PTSD. So, you know, those symptoms were completely non-existent last week. I mean, completely. And then they started again a little bit this morning on my way to Reiki. It was just kind of like free-floating anxiety, just sort of trying to attach to anything. You know how that happens, right? So it was kind of like, oh my God, you know, you better get to work on Patreon or you're going to lose all your patrons. And then 5 seconds later it was, you're probably going to crash the car today because your mind's not on the road. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. So I had a little bit of that. But I will say after that first Reiki session, I didn't have any of that. I wasn't sleeping great, though. But it wasn't like I was sleeping badly. But it was like, I mean, anybody that's ever been through an energetic transformation knows that your sleep kind of gets weird. You're either sleeping a lot or you're sleeping not at all. Or you don't need it. Or you're kind of waking up here and there, you know what I mean? But it doesn't feel bad. But yeah, my sleep was definitely a little bit disturbed last week. And of course, we had that Virgo full moon. It was a wild full moon, man. It was a wild full moon. So, anyway, I got to Reiki. And Reiki Dave, as we're now calling him, Reiki Dave. I've just been calling him that in my head. I haven't called him that to his face yet. Maybe I never will, but that's how he is to me these days. Sweet guy. Nice guy. Listen, I'm going to give you his information. So he's legit. He's real. Book with him. Do it. And he does distance healing too. And I have no doubt that he's just as good at that as he is at what he's doing for me, you know, in the room. Like, I'm telling you, I will say this. I've had a couple of people, you know, while I'm getting massages, oh, let me do some Reiki on you. And nothing ever happened. So I was like, well, this is clearly a bullshit phenomenon. This isn't real. It's just some dumb thing people say. I can be a real asshole. So, you know, I really went into this pretty skeptical, and I've crossed the line into believer. So yeah, I highly recommend him. He's a nice guy too. Just like really nice guy. Super good vibes. So, He's definitely going on my list of recommendations, of which there are like 4 people. And I see, listen, I do stuff. I go here, I go there. I haven't seen readers in a while, but I'm always experimenting in the woo-woo world, and there are a lot of people that I do not recommend. There are a lot of people I come across that do work for me, or that I encounter or whatever, and I don't recommend them. So just so you know, like, a recommendation from me means I had an extremely positive experience, and that I truly believe the person that I'm recommending is a good person, is trying to help their clients, is trying to help the world, and is not just legitimate at what they do, but really fucking good at it. So Reiki Dave's really fucking good. FYI. So I got in the room. Started, he wanted to kind of, well, how did it work? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So I told him, and it's like easy to talk to. Like, so, I could just pour my heart out to this fucking guy and he'd like listen. You know what I mean? He's just like, he's one of those people. And I didn't feel comfortable or uncomfortable at all telling him about my shining period. I was like, well, let me tell you, I know we just met, but let's talk about my period. And then I'll just go home and say it on camera in front of thousands of people. That's fine too. I do have this weird thing on my eye. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. You can see it. Look at that. I woke up with that yesterday. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what it is. I'm not being abused in any possible way, FYI, but I know if you can catch glimpses of it, you're kind of like, did she have a black eye? I don't know what it is, dude. It's just like appeared. I literally laid down for a nap. It was not there, and I was alone in the bed, and when I got up, it was there. I don't know what the hell it is. Sidebar. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. So I get on the Reiki table, and I will say after the period, the bladder symptoms came back, but not bad. Like, I'm able to do crunches. I did crunches all week last week. No problem. Absolutely no problem. I haven't tested out caffeine yet. Fizzy water's still messing with me a teeny tiny bit, but not bad. So, yeah. And I will say that last week, I really felt like some weird heavy thing just lift off the entire area. And then when I got those really bad cramps, the whole area just got really upset with life. The cramps were insane. I don't get bad cramps like that. Like, I don't, or if I do, every once in a while I will, but they're so painful. They're painful in a different way. This wasn't painful. It was strong. It was different. It wasn't painful. I would never say that I was in pain, but it was different. They were really, really, really strong. Like, almost like, I don't know. It was like, get out, whatever you are. I don't know. Get out, whatever you are. It's going to be the most meandering, ridiculous fucking video. I'll be more grounded tomorrow. And we'll chat again. But I'm just giving you the full post-Reiki experience here. So, yeah, got on the table. He started working on me. And, like, literally, last time to really feel, like, real relief, it took probably a few hours, several hours. Like, it was when I got home, I was like, oh, I feel better. This time it took maybe 10 minutes, and like the whole pelvic area, the whole abdomen just went, oh, okay. And the heavy thing lifts away, and it wasn't as bad. I will say, whatever the heavy thing is, it seems to be diminishing each time I go see Reiki Dave. So, yeah, so I'm on the table for 90 minutes, and you guys, it was like fucking magical mystery tour. I mean, you wouldn't believe the shit that just comes in and out of my mind, and it's normally not like that. And I'm like concentrating on my breathing. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm like meditating, because that's a different state for me. That's a completely different state of being, and it's not on that level. But I mean, just stuff. And what's weird too? The whole last week, I had the most absurd memories coming up from childhood. Stuff that I had forgotten. Stuff that I didn't even know that I remembered that I knew. I mean, and not bad stuff. I mean, just like, and so vividly. And I'm thinking it's got to be a product of the Reiki. Because I'm not doing anything else. You know what I mean? I'm not doing anything different. So, yeah, I'm having these just childhood memories kind of float up and float away. And then I was like this is so funny, I was like super attracted to, my mom has all my old Nancy Drew books, and I was visiting the other day, and I was like, I want to read some of these Nancy Drew books. It's like I wanted to, like, I don't know, go back to childhood or some shit. I don't know. But I took a couple of them, and I read them in an hour because I'm a grown adult now. but but yeah, I wanted to have some of those Nancy Drew books. I'm having these memories come up, and I mean, they are crystalline. It's so weird. So I'm curious to see what the second session does. So that's just been the last week of Reiki. It's been like my work has improved to a different level. I mean, it was always good and it was always accurate, but I feel like for me, it doesn't seem to be as taxing. It doesn't seem to be as taxing. Like, it seems to come easier. It doesn't seem to be whooping my ass. And I will tell you this too, my immune system seems better. Everybody's running around with coronavirus, and I mean, and everybody I know has something. Nobody I know has corona, knock wood. But everybody has something, and I haven't caught a damn thing. I haven't caught a damn thing. So I think it's working on the immune system too. Like, I am like a full fucking convert over here. Full convert. So yeah, immune system is better. The channeling, that deep dive channeling is wow. It was just wow. So, things seem to be working on a different level psychically. My body seems to be doing different stuff. The breakout is not fun. I'm not happy about it. You can't see it really, but you can feel it, and it's really fucking gross. It's just, I just hate that. And I never break out like that. I mean, these are like big, huge, bumpy clusters. And I don't know what the eyeball thing is. I don't think that has to do with Reiki. I don't know what that is. But, yeah, full relaxation. Oh, God, and the dreams I've been having. I swear to God, you guys, I swear to God, the dreams I've been having have been really profound and strange. And, I mean, more than usual. So, yeah, I think there are things happening on multiple levels here. Like, multiple levels. Not just physical. I don't feel weird emotionally. I don't know if other people, go have Reiki and they go home and cry. That is not me. Like, I am like up, I'm giggly, I'm happy, I'm obviously losing my train of thought consistently. But yeah, I don't feel, and I feel stuff moving. I feel stuff shifting. And last time I was there, I felt this big heavy thing somewhere back here just kind of lift off. A lot of times when I clear energy like that, I can feel it. And I think I said this in the last video, where I can kind of feel it moving through me, and then I can feel it dissipating. But with Reiki, I felt it, and I know it's gone, but I never felt it leave. So I know there's lots of shit shifting right now, just in general. And I did not realize, as I'm on the table, let me tell you this, some of these revelations I'm getting. And what I love about this is I am not in any way, shape, or form picking anything up from Reiki Dave. Like, he keeps his shit to himself. And I think it's just because he's working with source energy, that it's just like there's no room for anything else, which is great. Because usually you lock me in a room with a person and I'm like, well, now I know all your secrets and your neuroses, and, and I know why you feel guilty, and, blah, blah. That's not happening, so it's great. It's great. But I was definitely getting like insight about the level of healing that takes place. So I'm getting this information coming through, and I don't think it came from, okay, so we're going to get weird. Are you ready? I don't think it came from outside of me. I think it's something happening inside that I registered was happening, but this stuff is happening like on a completely cellular level. I mean, it goes that deep, which I wasn't really thinking of. I didn't really have an expectation about, cellular, non-cellular, right? But I could tell it's happening on a cellular level, and it's happening on a quantum level. So and the way it moves. See, with acupuncture, I feel it kind of going up and down. Like, I can feel energy going from here down to my feet or whatever. With this, completely different experience. So probably going to take a big nappy now that I've had my in and out. Don't tell Reiki Dave. I'm like, yeah, you cleaned. Second time he told you that. What'd you do for the second time? You went straight to fucking In-N-Out. I was hungry. I'm telling you, when I go through these episodes, I like, because I've done, shifting energy, moving energy and stuff before, but it usually requires a lot of carbs and animal fries. My body's like, oh, we're healing things? Animal fries. I feel clean. I don't know, dude. I feel clean. I don't know. There's no other way to put it. But I was getting this insight that it's all coming like on this cellular level, like it's happening at the very deepest, tiniest levels where big change can happen on these tiny levels, and it's starting at the lowest possible level and then it sort of rises up. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, it's not, I don't know if that's making any sense, but it's definitely something that starts at the lowest cellular level and then sort of filters out. And it doesn't move in a straight line. It's moving in all sorts of different directions. So I didn't really have anything come up for me, but as I'm on the table, I'm just like, it's almost like almost like a life review, but it's just kind of random images. Oh yeah, I remember when that happened. Oh yeah, I remember when that happened. Just stuff floating up and out, floating up and out, floating up and out. Like, especially, so he says that you carry a lot of emotion in the back of your knees, which is like a fucking weird place to carry it. But that's when stuff started going fast and furious. But again, it's not like traumatic experiences, no, that's not what's coming up. And it's funny because with somebody that has PTSD, that's what you do. You flash back to traumatic experiences. Like all of a sudden you're there and it's incredibly crystalline. You can see it, touch it, feel it, taste it. You're back in your traumatic experience. So what's interesting is with Reiki, it's not putting me back. It may be clearing trauma. But it's not putting me back in that situation. I'm not having PTSD symptoms, but I'm having just these random, like a family dinner one night, and it'll just kind of like random family dinner and then it's gone, So that's what was happening for me and then at the same time, I'm kind of getting this information of like where this energy is going, how it's working within me. And then it's funny because one of his guides knew that I could sense him, and he was like, yeah, I'm here. And he leaned down and he says to me, the guide, and this is legit, whether, okay, I'm going to give it benefit of the doubt, whether it is a projection of his, higher self or inner wisdom, or it's an actual separate entity, it's up for interpretation in my opinion. But the guide leaned down to me and said, there's nothing wrong with you. You're in perfect condition. And it basically is like, the message to me was like, this is all in your head in a way. Not like it's psychosomatic, but like you have the power to heal yourself instantaneously, immediately. Like you could be in perfect condition right this second. It's all up here. So that was a really interesting experience that I had. And I had seen the guides on my first trip in, but I didn't really say anything. And I was like, okay, yep, this is a thing. This is a thing. This time the one was like, I'm going to tell you a secret, Miss Langston. But yeah, random stuff, just like nothing that makes any sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh yeah, that trauma you were storing in your kneecap, no, it's just like Easter Sunday when you're 6 years old just goes floating through. Like, it was the weirdest thing. And that's, it was happening all last week. And then on the table today, it was like, go, 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 go. It was like cycling through different memories, all different. Never a repeater. I've never had a repeater. I've never had anything horrible come up. It's just been all like either neutral or really happy. It's funny because when I get body work that really, really works, or when I'm really relaxed, like in a meditative state where like I'm off planet, I have like muscle twitches and stuff, and I was getting them like crazy today. Last time, yeah, but this time even more, way more. And then as I'm on the table, my hands, the palms of now, his hands get hot. That's, that happens. His hands get hot. So I could feel it, I get a blankie. He's very kind. He offers you a blankie. I was like, hell yeah, I want a blankie. 41 years old, I want a blankie. So yeah, anyway, you can feel the heat through the blankie. going to continue to refer to it as a blankie. But my hands got hot this time, and that didn't happen last time. But like all through here, just fucking hot, like hot. And it's funny because my feet are always cold, and usually when I'm laying down, my hands get cold. I think it's part of the carpal tunnel. I have a little bit of it. I don't have a ton of it, but supposedly if you have carpal tunnel, your hands get cold or something. Anyway, my hands were on fire and fuego. Like it was ridiculous. And I'm laying there and I'm just like, okay, am I supposed to do something with this? Do I put my hands somewhere now? So, yeah. Very thoughtful guy, Reiki Dave. He's getting my stamp of approval. On the second visit, I'm giving it to him. Yeah, he's good. He's really fucking good. So, yeah, the pelvic stuff, the bladder stuff just started to clear immediately. And then more stuff started to happen, you know. And it definitely, even now, it feels almost normal, almost completely normal. And then, you know, you're definitely in an altered state. Like he warned you, you're going to be in an altered state. I mean, we know this. I for Christ's sake, I was like, the man has dosed my water. That's how much of an altered state I was in. So yeah, you get off the table, you're definitely in an altered state. And, but it's not like, oh, I can't drive the car. It's not altered state like I just took 40 Vicodin. It's not like some weird funky, it's more, okay, it's going to be crazy, but it's like, it's more normal than our normal. So the state I'm in right now feels more natural to me than regular everyday on T state does. Like this feels natural. This feels like this is where we should all be. So I don't know what it is per se, but all my muscles definitely relaxed too, which is hard because, you know, I have the injury back here, so usually I'm pretty tense through here, but everything relaxed. But my mind, but I wasn't relaxed, you know what I mean? But I wasn't stressed out or tensed either, but it was just like I was having a full roller coaster ride in my brain and just kind of mapping out what was going on in my body. But the body itself was just totally chill. Still is. What else? Is there anything else? I think I need to lay down for a minute. I think that might be it. Also, again, I mean, and no anxiety, no nothing. Usually I get all geeked up when I'm in the car. Driving gets me all geeked up. But I got in the car after I left and I was like, this is great. Everything is great. Driving is fun. This is great. I love it. And I swear to God, my vision feels sharper. I swear. So that's session 2. That's session 2 with Reiki Dave. I'm really curious to see how the rest of this week plays out. So I'll catch up with you mañana. Okay. So Reiki day 3. I, against Liz Taylor's, we'll get to that. We'll get to that situation. Hey, he'll be back. Relax. You want to see her? You want to be on TV? Look, who's that? Yeah, that's Happy Dog. That's Happy Dog in there. I know, she's so pretty. So get this, Reiki day 3. Last night, and you can see it on the live streams, I start to get like short of breath, and then I'm kind of wondering if it's the damn dog, to be honest. But at the time, you know, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't feel good. I just a little bit tired, a little bit short of breath. And then it got way worse. I was like, I'm gonna have to like go to the hospital. Like, what's going on here? I could not fucking breathe. It was like pressure on the chest. I still feel it. Can't get a full breath in. So around 8:30, I called urgent care, and I said, listen, I can't breathe. You know, it's really hard for me to breathe. What do I do? Blah, blah, blah. So they said, well, they're asking me all the coronavirus questions, you know, and I'm answering no. But then I told her one of the kids' school just got put on lockdown because they had an exposure out there, so they're cleaning the whole school. There's nobody has any symptoms, but they said, oh yeah, there's been an exposure. So
I don't know how legit that is, to be honest, but they closed the whole school to clean it. So I told her that. So she says, well, yeah, maybe you should try to get tested. You know, we'll get you in the morning, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. So I call. She gives me the emergency room number to call. This is the number that you call, apparently. I called the emergency room. The lady was very terse, very pissed off that I called her. And she said, we're absolutely not testing you. We're not testing anybody. If you don't have, if you haven't come from China, if you haven't come off a cruise ship, and you're not deathly ill, we're not testing anybody. So there's no tests. So this is kind of coronavirus segue here. But there's no tests. They're not testing anybody. You know, and I have no fever. I have no other symptoms. I just can't breathe. It's really bizarre. It just kind of came on. I noticed it Wednesday night a little tiny bit, but not bad. So now it's Friday morning. So I ended up, this is weird. So I'm kind of laying there. I can't breathe. I'm, you know, using Ventolin, and you know, I only use it when I have allergies, and I kind of have allergies, and I think this little lady is part of the problem. But I got a text from Reiki Dave, and it was about 10 o'clock at night, and he said, hey, how are you feeling? And it's weird. So he's got some mojo, right? And I said, you know, I'm feeling, you know, it's weird. I said, I don't know if it's Reiki shaking stuff loose or what it is, but I can't really breathe. Okay. Auntie loves you. Yes, I do. Get down. So I started to feel better around 11:30 last night. I mean, almost normal. Almost completely normal. And I was like, God, I wonder if he's doing distance Reiki. I mean, it was wild, dude. I swear to God, I was like, oh my God, I feel so much better. So I went to bed, and I was even thinking about canceling the appointment in the morning. I was like, nah, just keep it. Because, you know, if it flares up again or whatever, you're going to want like medication. So I got up this morning, I went to urgent care, and, you know, coronavirus sidebar. So I went in, and I told them I'm having shortness of breath. Like, I can't get a full breath in. They make me wear the mask. There's no other protocol in place, by the way. There's like none. So they took me back to a room and took my temperature. Temperature's fine. Blood pressure's great. You know, everything's great. My blood is completely oxygenated. My pulse is great. Everything's fine. I just can't get a breath in. You know, and it feels like pressure on the chest. So doctor comes in, and he said, yeah, I'd love to test you for coronavirus, but we have no tests. We have nothing. He's like, you know, you don't have any other symptoms. You don't have a fever. You don't have a cough. You don't have, you know, anything. I mean, I feel fine. I'm a little bit worn down, but, you know, otherwise I feel fine, except for the breath thing. So, yeah, he said, I'd love to test you. I'd really, just to be sure, I'd love to test you. And I asked him, should I quarantine? He said, nah, you don't have a fever, so you probably don't need to quarantine. I'm going to quarantine for a few days anyway, just to be, you know, safe. You know, he was like, yeah, I mean, if you're going to quarantine, you know, ideally you should do it for 2 weeks. But he's like, I honestly, he goes, without testing, I can't say what you have. I don't think it's, you know, I think it's allergies, but, you know, without the fever. So that's kind of like the hinge was the fever. He's like, you don't have a fever, like you're fine. So if you develop a fever, come back in. If the breathing gets worse, go to the ER, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I'm 90% sure I don't have friggin' coronavirus. And then I talked to Reiki Dave this morning. He texted me again. Like, he's very, I'm telling you guys, I'm sold on this guy. He's going in the book. He's going in the book with Will and Eliza and Linda. Like, I'm like, I will recommend these people. And he actually told me, he said, you know, did you feel better last night? And I said, actually, I did. He goes, yeah, I sent you some, he goes, I sent you some Reiki last night. Did you feel it or something? And I said, oh my God, I absolutely felt it. Yeah, I absolutely felt it. He says, okay, I'm going to keep sending it to you distance Reiki. So we now have proof positive the distance Reiki works. I'm telling you, you guys, this is not hardly scientific, obviously, but it's my experience, and I'm feeling it. So, okay, mwah. I'll be back later. Okay, Reiki session 3, day 1. I just finished, just got home. This is kind of a weird camera angle, but I'm gonna go with it. Maybe not have the cupboards open though. Wow. Okay, so in the last week, I have had some very weird stuff come up. Heaviness in the chest, but I'm 90% sure. Ooh, y'all, making some bread right now. Bread.
I'm 90% sure I dislocated my ribs again. Because of course I did. Because of course that happened. And I think that's what's impeding my breathing. But either way, there's a lot of heaviness in this area. You know, there's no way to be sure. It could be Reiki. It could be both. Probably both. But I have a lot of weird stuff. I have stuff, old stuff, like coming up, like emotional, energetic stuff, like just kind of coming up and like having a party. And the bladder feels really good, though. I will say this. It seems to be getting better and better each time. So this time it pretty much stayed chill the whole week until I had Reiki again. A lot of you have contacted Dave already to you know, get treatments from him, which is great. You know, I haven't told the general public. I only told the patrons about him. But he was like, yeah, I got all these people calling. He's super juiced. He's such a good guy. So, I'm talking my mouth full like a little piglet. Yeah, I have stuff coming up. So this session, well, actually, you know what? It was last night. I was watching TV and I just kind of felt this weird, I don't know what to call it. I don't know, this thing. Oh, it's clearly energetic. And it seemed to kind of come out of nowhere, but it was kind of like stuff just like flying away. And I sort of felt like I was like on fire a little bit. It was weird. Very weird. But I could feel stuff like moving and shifting and changing. I definitely could. So this morning I woke up. I had really weird dreams. I've been having very weird dreams. A lot of dreams about animals, like animal omens and animal stuff coming in just since I started the Reiki. It's very weird. This bread is going to be delicious, by the way. Just want everybody to know that. I just want everybody to know I'm really excited about eating this bread. So yeah, the dreams were weird. I had some dreams, really kind of just strange dreams last night. And then I woke up this morning feeling kind of heavy and ungrounded and just not quite with it. And I could still feel things like moving and shifting and, you know, having like weird, I don't know, like old shit just kind of crossing my mind, like really old stuff, you know, difficult stuff, like crossing my mind. But it's not like it's upsetting me. It's just kind of like, you know, it's coming through and I'm going, you again. And I'm like, okay, hopefully the Reiki will just like handle this. I'm like, I have all these different weird theories that like it's you know, the energy of it's in me at a cellular level and so the Reiki is like blasting it free. And I have all these weird theories that have no basis in reality. They're just thoughts. They're just thoughts and theories. But yeah, so I got in there and I felt weird and ungrounded. You know, and I let Dave know all that. And so got on the table, the huge, we're doing the huge. And I mean, he could feel my ribs are out. Like they're out. Like there's one that's out. I can feel it. Like it's just not, I don't know how I popped it out again. But it's funny that I have this injury reoccurring, you know, that's been settled for I don't know how many years or I thought was settled for how many years, that it's reoccurring. Very interesting. So post Reiki, I felt way more settled, way more grounded, way more relaxed. And I realized, because right, we're in the middle of this coronavirus situation in the US. And I realized that there's a lot of fear, like the world is cloaked in fear. This is my realization on I'm taking a bite, I can't stand it. It's so good. It's so good. God, I love this brown bread. But anyway, I'm gonna talk with my mouth open like a piglet, I'm sorry. I realized that like the world is like coated in this blanket of fear, like the entire world. And it's sort of like sitting on top of me. So in Reiki, when he was doing that, I realized like, okay, so I need to like consciously make sure like I have no fear. I'm not afraid, you know, but it's like everywhere. And the more he's doing the Reiki and the more I'm on the table and the longer he's doing it, I realize that like this whole big thing is going on around me, if this makes any sense. These videos right after Reiki are funny. They're sort of almost nonsensical. I'm like, Kirsten, you're not making any sense. But, you know, I feel like I see like all this stuff's going on around me, and it's just like, you know, like make sure you're not a part of it, you know, and you know, make sure it's not like sitting on top of you like a little, you know, little gargoyle. So that came through pretty clear, but what really came through too is that I was already separate from it. It's just that I could feel it and really, really, really feel it, and I kind of wasn't registering that I was feeling it. And that was another thing that came through, is that I have been reading people unknowingly. I mean, probably forever, but especially in the last week, that came through on the table, that it was like, you've been reading people and not realizing it, and just kind of carrying their shit around. Not like empathic, not where it's like it's on me and I've got it and I'm feeling their feelings, although that can happen. But this is more like you've been subconsciously reading people, and then you're just kind of like gathering the information and not letting it go, you know. So that was kind of a nice little revelation. So I was like, oh, okay, I gotta, you know, turn that off. Bladder eased up. I mean, not that it was bad at all, because it wasn't. I mean, it's not fully cured, but it's pretty fucking good. Like, it's pretty damn good. But even then, it eased up further on the table. And it felt like it was, this is weird, but it felt like the energy was like penetrating even deeper, if that makes any sense. I definitely feel weird. I feel shifty. I'm a shifty person. No. But I feel like things are shifting. I can't really describe it. I feel grounded, but I feel like there's something going on. I feel like there's something happening, especially in this area where it's just like, I don't know what it is. It's almost like a buzzing, but then there's like kind of a heaviness going on. So I don't know what the F. I'll get back to you. I'm going to eat this bread, which I'm so fucking excited about this bread. I'm gonna eat the bread, and then maybe I'll come back tonight and let you know. But I do feel things are shifting, things are moving, and it's not just bladder stuff anymore. Now it's just fucking everywhere. Oh, I love this bread. I love it. I need to quit. I'm a little bit. Ooh. All right, I'll be back. Okay, hi. Reiki, day 2. Session 3, day 2. I don't know what's going to happen on session 4, because the entire Bay Area is now in Corona lockdown. So it's weird, because you're getting this like dual Corona lockdown, you know, Corona pandemic video thing along with the Reiki. So I don't know how we're going to do session 4, because you're supposed to have 4. I have already recommended Reiki Dave, to my patrons, gave out his information, and quite a few people contacted him. So I'm super excited about that. Can't talk. Just did a meditation on YouTube, because people are like totally freaking out. So I just kind of went on and was like, let's all relax. Had a nice workout, and now I'm cooking. So you're hanging out with me in the kitchen again. So let's talk Reiki. Let's talk Reiki day 2. So last night, after I talked to you guys, I was very chill. I have to say, I was very chill. You know, with somebody like, I have like, you know, generalized anxiety, and, you know, this whole pandemic thing should be sending me off the charts, but it's not. Especially as a kidney donor, who the fuck knows what that virus would do to me? But it's not. I mean, I'm pretty, and I think it's the Reiki. I really think it's the Reiki. So after I talked to you guys, I did another big, massive meditation and had a little nappy, and then yeah, I'm feeling very chill, very upbeat. Bladder's feeling really good. What else? I'm trying to get the goods here. I definitely cried. I definitely cried. There was some crying yesterday. It was just sort of this random tearful thing, which I'm 90% sure is Reiki related. He did a lot of work around my throat, and I'm not surprised, because you know when you want to cry and you get the lump in your throat, that's all throat chakra stuff. So there was some crying.
Nice little cry sesh. It's good for you, you know. Do you know how many toxins your body releases when you cry? It's really good for you. So there was some crying. I had a nice bath. I had a lovely bath. You know, what do we think? 3 mushrooms? 2? 2. We'll do 2. So yeah, I mean, I definitely feel different. I feel different. The bladder is holding steady. So I'm pretty happy about that. I don't seem to be having any problems. I had a good workout this morning. And then you know what I realized this morning? I have these exercises that I do to relax the bladder, like relax the pelvic area. And I forgot to do them all last week because I didn't need them all last week. So I realized that this morning. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't do any of those and I didn't need them. So that is like pretty exciting for me. Pretty damn exciting for me. I do feel just mentally, emotionally, energetically, things are like moving around in me. I swear to God, I swear. It's like, I don't know how really to describe it, but it's like things are shifting. There's a big shift taking place. And it's a little bit uncomfortable. You like that I don't know? It's a little bit uncomfortable. It's weird. It's a weird kind of feeling. I don't know how to describe it. It's just sort of this kind of, well, it's not normal for me. Do you know what I mean? It's not like this, oh yeah, this is how I always feel. No, I feel different than how I always feel. We're making a little scramby, by the way. Making some scramby eggs with some veggies is what we're doing. Spinach, peppers, mushrooms. Maybe not that spinach. And some green onions. And then a little bit of smoked Gouda. That's what's happening, in case you were wondering. This is now the coronavirus Reiki cooking diary. So stupid. Yeah, no, I do feel weird though. I mean, this is like not just helping the bladder, you know, it's not, and I don't know why I thought that it would just be bladder stuff. I don't know why that was like, you know, of course it's going to be an all over thing. Let's do some more spinach. This might end up being the dumbest video diary ever. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's definitely doing an all over thing. Physically, I will say, I pretty much have a ton of energy. I don't feel tired, although I am sleeping a lot. But I have like a ton of energy. Like it's not going anywhere. But there's no real way to describe it except that it feels like things are being reordered and reorganized across all levels of me. And I don't have a, damn, it's gonna be hella good. I don't really have a, I don't know, it's almost like, I'm still getting psychic hits. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm still like before somebody texts, I get the ding. Like that happens all the time before somebody calls. I'll know they're gonna call. Stuff like that is definitely happening. But as far as getting like massive downloads when I'm not intending to get them, that has stopped for while I'm doing Reiki. It's weird. Usually I'll be sitting there like, okay, here comes a download. Could be personal, could be about somebody else, could be about the world at large, but I haven't really had big, massive coming out of nowhere downloads. And I don't know if it's the Reiki, I don't know if it's just a coincidence or what, I have no idea, but yeah, I mean, it works. I mean, it works. It definitely works. At this point now, I'm just kind of saying, how is it working? What is it doing? What am I dealing with here? Let's make some scrambled eggs. I don't know. It's weird. I'm saying, like, I've had energy clearings before. You've seen me go to Willow Witch Doctor. You've seen the video of it. So, this is not like that. It's not a clearing per se. It's different. It's really different. I don't know how to describe it. It's not just like, you know, let me, you know, let's cut cords on XYZ. It's not that. It's different. You know, I go to acupuncture. It's not that. It's different. You know, I've had other people, you know, do healing stuff for me, and like, it's just not the same. Damn, this is going to be tasty. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this food. It's just not the same. It's not the same thing. It's very strange. Very different. It doesn't feel like things are leaving. You know, like when you get a clearing, like, I don't know, even in acupuncture, I can feel shit like moving, flying out, disappearing, leaving me alone, going away. This isn't that. It's not. But it's also, I mean, it's definitely, I don't want to say clearing, but it's kind of reordering or getting rid of stuff, or repositioning things to where it doesn't mess with me as much or something. Like, I don't know. It's weird. There's a whole energetic thing going on, and I cannot describe it because I've never experienced it before, but it literally feels like someone or something is just going, okay, this is going to go over here now, and this is going to go over here now, and this, you know, we don't need, although it doesn't feel like a clearing. Again, it's just kind of like, oh no, we don't need that anymore, or we need a new version of that, so pull this in here. I feel like I'm pulling in stuff that I didn't even know existed. It's very strange. It's very, very strange. And I will say, woo, there we go. I'm post-workout. Post-workout, post-YouTube meditation. The way that Dave works, I like, because he doesn't tell you a damn thing. Like, I've had people, and I think I wrote this out the other day for patrons, like, I've had people just randomly like, oh, let me do some Reiki on you, and, you know, just like, you know, my neck hurts or whatever, oh, let me, and like nothing happens. I'm like, well, Reiki is bullshit. So I was kind of coming into it with this idea of like, well, this isn't real. And, you know, even when I've had people do that, they kind of give me this, oh yeah, I can feel that you're tense, or oh yeah, you know, this is here because of a past life. You know, they want to talk about it. He doesn't talk about it, and I friggin' love that. So you notice how I just caught myself in the swear? I love it though. He just kind of says, here's the energy, do with it what you will, you know, and he's really sympathetic and empathetic. And I know a lot of people kind of think that men aren't as good at that kind of work, you know, because it's really kind of a I don't want to call it passive, but it's kind of this empathetic work. So I love it because he doesn't say a word. Like, he'll go in there and just be like, blah, 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 whatever he does. He doesn't do the robot like I just did. Not that I really did it, but you know what I mean. And then you go, you know, and he'll ask you, how you doing? How you feeling? You know, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's great. Lots of feedback. You know, he checks on me every day after he does Reiki. And like last week when I was having all that shortness of breath, he was checking on me every single day and sending me Reiki remotely every single day. So it was like, well worth the money. And it worked. The remote Reiki worked, which was really exciting for me. Because I was kind of like, oh, okay, it's working. He's got his hands on me. I'm in the office. But does it work remotely? And the answer is, yeah, absolutely it does. So I couldn't be more pleased. I couldn't be more pleased with this experience, I have to say. And I'm really interested to see what, you know, what is being reordered, what's shaking loose, what's happening internally that, you know, that what am I going to be when I grow up from Reiki? What am I going to be, though? You know what I mean? I'm really, just really curious about it. Because, you know, when you go for an energy clearing, it doesn't feel like this. I literally feel like things are being moved around, reordered, restructured. An energy clearing is just like, let's get rid of this. You don't need it, you know? And typically, I mean, when I work with Will the Witch Doctor, who's also very good, you know, he kind of puts things in place, like he'll, you know, I don't know half the shit he talks about. He's very good at his job. He's really good at his job. But half the time he's like, Arcturian this and something that. And I'm like, all right, buddy, you just, you know, go ahead, do what you got to do. You know, this template, that template, this high energy, that high energy, goddess energy, you know, he'll kind of do that, you know. But again, it has a label, and Reiki, there's no label. He's like Mr. Miyagi. He just gives it to you, and then you know what to do with it. So it's really interesting. It's very interesting. I'm really intrigued by the entire experience. I'm gonna go eat this food. I'm really excited about it. I gotta put my smoked Gouda on there. Mwah! I will see you later. We'll see what's going on in day 3. Maybe I'll have some more coherent thoughts. Okay. I'm putting on makeup. Getting ready to film. But I wanted to give you Reiki day 3. I think I skipped Reiki day 2. But Reiki day 3. So we need blush. We need blush. You get a combination makeup and Reiki. Reiki day 3. You know, I've been sleeping weird. And I've noticed I've been having like way more dreams than I normally have, which is really, I mean, I remember them all usually, most of them. I write them all down. I've been doing that for years. I've been doing that since college. But I've been sleeping weird. I've been waking up a lot. I've been dreaming a lot. I don't know if this is Reiki stuff or what. It's not too bad, but it's definitely not my normal sleep pattern at all. As far as the bladder goes, I did caffeine for the first time in a long time yesterday, just the tiniest bit, and it really, it went great. It went really great. So, but I will say that like my bladder's like a tiny little itty bit annoyed with me today, I think because of the caffeine yesterday. But I didn't notice anything at the time. It wasn't like I was, drinking the tea and then I went, oh my God. So, that needs to be sharpened, so I'm just not going to bother using it. So I have to say, as far as Reiki day 3 goes, I have a ton of energy. It's weird though, because like my sleeping is really weird for sure. But again, I don't know if that's attributed to Reiki. Bladder area for the most part is relaxed. It's pretty chill, but it's definitely a little bit tighter. I've been doing crunches, and I haven't been able to really sleep like curled up on myself because of the bladder, because it would get irritated. I did last night, and I think that's why it's a little bit irritated, but it didn't get irritated when I was doing it, which is normally what happens. Also, I don't know, dude. I don't know how to describe it. I just feel like I'm in really high vibes. Like really, really, nothing seems to be able to bring me down. Which, we're literally in the background of a fucking pandemic. The whole Bay Area is on lockdown. I'm like, we're all quarantining. And I feel great. I feel good. I mean, I'm not freaking out. I'm not super scared. I'm not having a lot of a reaction to it. I feel, I don't know, not like it's, like I'm not connected to it, but I don't know how to put this, but it's kind of like, yeah, I like that color. Yeah, we like that. We like that. It's Too Faced, by the way. And the color is Chill Pill. Ironically enough. I don't think I'm going to do a ton of makeup. Maybe later, but not right now. So, yeah, it's weird. I know a lot of people are freaking out and panicking and fear and this and that. And I mean, for somebody like me that typically has a, generalized anxiety disorder situation happening, like I should be flipping out, and I'm not. I feel really grounded, really connected to a higher source, safe and protected. Like I feel really good. I'm telling you, dude, this Reiki is the way to go. I'm telling you. Have I noticed anything else physically? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm also like taking more baths, whereas before, you know, I was avoiding them because my bathtub is shitty. My bathtub sucks. I'm currently in the middle of like doing my manifestation meditations. All I'm trying to manifest is a nicer bathtub. Like, I need a better bathtub. So I don't typically take them anymore because it irritates the pelvic area, the abdominal stuff. But you know what? It's not. I've been taking more baths again. So I'm pretty happy about what's happening here. And you know, what's really struck me is the energy that I'm feeling. It's like, I don't know, it's almost like I'm high from it, or I'm not like high stoned, but just like I'm just feeling like it's super high vibes. And usually, you know, as a reader too, because I'm reading on shitty stuff, I'm reading on a pandemic, I'm reading for clients typically that are, you know, freaked out. I mean, I haven't seen private clients since I've done the joint readings with Eliza, but I do email readings, and they're typically people that are freaked out, and those readings can bring you down. They can, you know, drop you down, but I swear to God, it feels like nothing is bringing me down. And I noticed I haven't had a clearer energy as much either, because usually, I got my teeth, didn't I? Huh. Yeah, I like that. Usually I'm like a little energy clearing machine. And I haven't really had to clear energy either. I haven't had since I've done Reiki, since I've been doing Reiki, I haven't had one instance where I felt spammed either. And that could just be coincidence. But we'll find out, you know, we'll find out. All right, so that is, turn you around. Can I? No, not on this I can't. Never mind, I'm not going to turn you around at all. That's Reiki day 3. I'm feeling really good. I'm a happy camper. And I'm going to go get my little ass to work. So I'll see you guys later. Okay. I just finished a live stream, and I looked terrible, and because the lighting was so bad. Now, it was one of my Rona cord cutting meditation live stream things. Anyway, now that I'm in good lighting, I'm like, oh, go ahead. I don't look like the Crypt Keeper. So this is my final Reiki video, even though I haven't gotten my 4th physical session yet. I'm ready to present my conclusions to the board. I'm ready to present my conclusions, my scientific conclusions. So basically, we had to stop. The last session I had was March 16th, and then the week after, I got distance Reiki, which really worked. And then this last week, I also got distance Reiki from Reiki Dave, which really, really worked. I mean, it's working. It's kind of crazy. So I've been, I already let the patrons know. You know, I kind of let the cat out of the bag with the patrons that this guy was like super cool and the real deal, and so I know a few of them had seen him and gotten distance Reiki, and they were like, oh my God, he's amazing. So the feedback that I'm getting from other people is really good too. So here's my conclusion. As someone who went in skeptically, you know, who wasn't sure this was going to work. I was kind of like, this sounds like bullshit. typical Kirsten. This sounds like bullshit, but I'm going to give it a try. I went in with major a situation with my bladder. I mean, it was the real deal. You know, it was horrible. And I will conclusively say that after 3 hands-on sessions and 2 distance sessions of Reiki, that my bladder has definitely improved. I would say by 70 or 80% even. Also my neck. So I tweaked my neck
last week, and I really bad, like some of the worst pain I've been in since probably 2015. And I have a neck injury. I have a really old injury from 2010 that had me, housebound for a year. It was the injury was so bad. They wanted to do surgery and all this stuff. So anyway, I've been maintaining that injury very well with absolutely no resting pain for years with acupuncture and seeing the chiropractor and getting massage therapy. So, and not doing stupid shit. But obviously I couldn't get any of those things done. And I had really, really bad neck pain, and it was Reiki day. So Reiki Dave texted me. He's like, I'm going to give you Reiki. And I was like, great. And he was like, oh my gosh, you just like took so much in. Wow, I can't believe it. And I was like, well, I need it. I've got 3 dislocated ribs. I'm still working on healing up the bladder, and now my neck is messed up. So the next day I did nothing. I will tell you this, I did nothing for the neck. Nothing. I might have been on the heating pad because that's kind of what I'd been doing, but nothing extra, nothing more. And the next day I woke up, the neck pain was completely gone. I'm not kidding. So yeah, I think it's the real deal. Is the bladder all the way better yet? No. Would I buy more sessions, hands-on sessions? Absolutely. I think I'm going to. I've also noticed an uptick in my health. I've noticed an uptick in my psychic work. I'm able to do psychic work for longer. I have way more stamina. I'm not completely wiped out afterwards. It's been a really amazing experience, and a very informative experience, and it's been life enhancing. So yeah, I think it really did help with the bladder. I had already had a few things going on for the bladder. I was getting acupuncture done, but it's funny because the acupuncture would clear whatever it was, and it would just feel like this heavy feeling on my bladder. It wouldn't even feel like I had to go to the bathroom. It was very weird, and the muscles were very tense. I would do that, and I had these pelvic exercises I had been doing, which I think I mentioned in this video that I completely forgot to do them one week after Reiki. But after my first Reiki session, I went to my acupuncturist, and she goes, I think this Reiki's really helped you turn a corner, because she had been working on it. It was on the herbs. She's, I'm in there every week, and it would clear, and then it would come back, and it would clear, and it would come back. So it was just kind of this shitty dance that I was doing, and she thinks like the Reiki just like punched it, because after that I had one more acupuncture session before we went into the lockdown. So it's been only Reiki that I've been doing now for 2 weeks, and I will say, yeah, it improved my neck. It definitely helped with symptoms with the dislocated ribs for sure. And yeah, I think the bladder, I would say again 70, maybe even 80% better. I can't do crunches. So that's like the taste test is, every time I did crunches, it would irritate the area. I can't do that because I've dislocated my ribs again. Exercising, by the way, which, they've always been tricky ribs since I injured them in an exercising accident in 2015. So I'm not surprised that they popped out. I was going a little too hard. I was a little too extra. I was feeling too good, I guess. But I can't do crunches because of the ribs. So I can't do that taste test. But I will say that I actually had caffeine in the form of Earl Grey, delicious, delicious Earl Grey tea, which I haven't been able to have since September. Delicious, delicious. And it didn't do a damn thing. It didn't do a damn thing to the bladder, and that's one of the harshest irritants you can have. I'm going to test out the fizzy water. But I will say this, the things that have been traditionally irritating the bladder, like I've been able to drink fizzy water, glasses, a couple glasses here, a couple glasses there. It hasn't bothered me, whereas before I'd have one glass and it would be like all hell broke loose. But the final frontier is spicy food, so we're going to try that soon. But yeah, I have to say it's been a really good experience. The whole physical experience is really rewarding. It's really, I can't call it relaxing, but I wonder, because I'm so sensitive to energy, it does relax me physically. Like I feel my muscles relax. Oh, I'll also say, I don't know if I mentioned this, I had this muscle strain in my back, like really close to the spine, that was so painful. And I had it for months upon months upon months. If I was like in a weird position, or if I was working too long, or if I slept funny, this thing in my lower back, like it was a muscle, it would just bug me. It was tender. I couldn't stand to have it touched, and it was there for months. Nobody could get rid of it. Nobody was getting, acupuncture wasn't getting rid of it, nothing. And this is like legit, and I don't know if I mentioned this. I was on the table, Reiki Dave, I'm on face down, he's doing his thing. And I felt the heat from his hands, and it went straight to that spot. And he was really close to that spot, but he wasn't on it. But it went straight to that spot, and that spot got warm. I am not joking. And then whatever the hell was going on there, I don't know what it was. I felt it disappear. The pain just disappeared. The being uncomfortable, the tenderness, it literally instantly disappeared. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. I know it sounds nuts, but it disappeared. And I felt it, and I went, oh my God, that thing in my back is gone. Like, I felt it on the table. I couldn't believe it. I was completely flabbergasted. And I didn't say anything. I don't even think I said anything to him. But I felt it go away, and it's been gone ever since. I mean, that was almost 3 weeks ago, and it hasn't come back. And I was stuck with it for months, this damn thing. So, yeah, I heartily endorse Reiki Dave. I have to say, I don't know if every Reiki practitioner has what he has, right? I don't know that. I can say that he has it, whatever the hell he's doing. It's legit, it's real. Like I said, I think I said this in a few videos, that the Reiki, for me, I had 1 or 2 people, oh, let me do Reiki on you. And I was like, nothing fucking happened. So I can say that he's got something, man. I can say that for a fact. I definitely feel better. I've known improvements, measurable improvements physically, in not just the bladder area. I have improvement in my work abilities with the psychic stuff, big time. So yeah, I'm endorsing 110%. It's real. It's real. It's real. Obviously, there are people that can really do this. Again, I don't know if everybody can really do it that claims they can, but this guy for sure. It's just been nothing but a positive life enhancement. You know, absolutely nothing but a positive life enhancement for me. So I'm 100% all in. I'm probably gonna do this regularly until I drop dead. Like, and maybe now I just won't drop dead anymore because, you know, the Reiki. It gives you immortality, didn't you know? So yeah, I again heartily endorse, like super big time. Very excited about it. Okay, that's it. That's my Reiki report. I will have Dave's information for you. I'm going to put it at the end of this video. I have permission to do that. Do let him know that you found him from Kirsten. You found him from me. He doesn't know who Auntie is, so don't say Auntie sent me to you. He's gonna be like, my Auntie. He's gonna be like, who? But yeah, let him know if you choose to do this. I'm over the moon about it. You know, I'm over the moon about it, especially somebody with you know, these issues that crop up. Like the bladder thing was not chronic. It was a UTI that was mistreated for over a month, and my body just said, you know what, bitch? If you're gonna treat us this way, we got something for you. Having a condition like that and getting no help from the medical community, absolutely no help. I mean, they weren't the ones that were saying, you know, do some pelvic floor relaxing exercises. I found that on my own, which again, honestly, I haven't had to do, so that's been great. You know, they weren't helpful, you know, so for me to know that there's another healing modality out there available to me and available to people, and something that I can now recommend to people, is huge. Because I do, you know, if I try something and I feel like it works, if I try someone, I do not endorse many people. You know that. I don't, because I have really, really high standards, and if I don't get results, I'm not gonna recommend you to other people. I just won't do it. So for me to be able to recommend Dave to people, for me to be able to recommend Reiki to people, and you know, my clients and everything, it's great. It's great. So I'm a happy lady. And I will say right now, I think I'm only endorsing 4 people in life. And that would be Linda Grindle for psychic work and mediumship. That would be Eliza Einhorn of Moon Pluto Astrology for psychic work and astrology. That would be Will the Witch Doctor for all your witch doctor needs. He's not a scary witch doctor person. I just call him that, by the way. But that would be Will Scott, who cured my TMJ. I don't know how the hell he did it. He put his hands on me, I screamed, and the TMJ never came back. So that was a plus. You know, he's cut cords on weird stuff. He's cleared multiple houses for me.
So he's legit. And now I'm adding Reiki Dave, whose last name I can't remember. Maybe I shouldn't give it out on the internet. Anyway, Reiki Dave. Like, I don't know. The other ones I know I can give it on the internet. I don't know. Yeah, it works. He works. He's legit. It's awakenedlightreiki.com. I will put everything you need to know after this, and you can contact him if you like. But guys, I'm in. I'm in the pool. The water is warm. Very happy about it. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for going on this little funny, strange journey with me. I know a lot of you were watching it and going like, bitch, we already know it's real. I know. Late to the party on tea. What can I say? Thank you.